Hi, writers. We are moving on to selecting an idea for our personal narrative today. I'm going to show you a strategy on how we can use some of the ideas we've come up with and also possibly select a different idea that comes to mind. So we want to think about when writing a personal narrative, we're sharing experiences that we've had in our lives. We wrote about a person where we had some good memories with, a place, and lastly, a strong emotion. You're going to see today an organizer that looks like this. And what I want to show you is that narrative writers write about what they know, thinking about some of your happiest memories, your saddest memories, family and friends, places that mean a lot to them, strong emotions you've felt, and experiences that might have changed you. Those are all some ideas, and we did touch base on some of those. We're going to take a moment and use a brainstorming sheet to think about some ideas in different topics. And I'm going to show you what I mean. You're going to see this activity on Seesaw in an organizer that looks like this. What I've done when I have my personal narrative brainstorming page, and notice that it breaks it up. My important memories, important people, important places, strong emotions, and big changes I've gone through. So you can incorporate the memories or the ideas that you've already used in your important people, places, and strong emotions. But I do recommend trying to add a few more. You should be able to get a memory, at least one memory in each box. I was able to at least get 2 to 3 per box. And I took about 5 minutes or so to brainstorm these ideas, maybe a little longer, because I wanted to make sure that I was coming up with some really good stories. So after I go through this, please take a moment to pause the video and brainstorm your ideas. So for instance, my important memories, going to Europe for the first time, being a teacher at Sacred Heart, those are really important. Important people, my mom, my dad, my fiance, my brother. Important places like Geneva, which happened to be the one I mapped out. But I also added Naples, Florida, and Italy. Strong emotions I felt. Sadness when my dog died. Excited when I got engaged. Big changes I've gone through, going to college and moving out of my house after 17 years. So these are some ideas that I've had in my life that I know I could write a good story on, where I could elaborate, add as many details as possible. So please pause the video and take a moment to fill out your brainstorming page. Now that you have decided or filled out your organizer, I want you to decide on a memory that you are going to be able to write your personal narrative on. What memory or what idea are you going to be able to really entertain your audience? So once you've thought about the one you like the best here, I would like you to either star it or circle it. So I'm going to star mine, and I put going to Europe for the first time. Now, because we're talking about small moments, I was in Europe for 2 weeks. That might not be a small moment in time. So I'm going to show you a strategy so I can really narrow down my idea and my moment that I'm going to be talking about or writing about. So you're going to see in your Seesaw assignment, once you've selected your idea, you're going to narrow down your small moment. And here's an example that was done for you. So let's, for instance, say you wrote something about the best summer you ever had. That's really vague. That's really general. Then you might think about, okay, I went to the beach. Still very general. There's a lot going on there. You could have gone to the beach several times in that summer. playing in the ocean with my brothers. So that might be a little bit more specific. And where we want to get the story is actually which exact small moment are you going to be writing about? So this one says, feeling scared because we couldn't find my parents when we got out of the water. I could see that this story is a little bit more focused. It's focusing on that one moment where they couldn't find their parents, and that must have been pretty scary. So this is an example. You'll see this on Seesaw. I'm going to show you what I did for mine so that you can have another example. And then you're going to get a chance to do this with your small moment as well. So mine was going to Europe. Yes, very vague. Like I said, this was a 2-week trip. That is way too much time. And then I put the cities I visited. I went to Rome, Cinque Terre, Tuscany, and Paris. Again, I can't be writing about all of those. I could write a story about each of those or several stories. Spending 3 days in Cinque Terre. Again, 3 days is too much time. So then I really thought about which part was my favorite and then I would have a lot to say. And I narrowed it down even more. The time we hiked through the 5 cities in Cinque Terre. So that was one small moment of my trip that I've decided that I'm going to write my personal narrative on. So please take some time and look at the examples and rewatch any parts of this video to make sure that you've selected an idea for your small moment and you've narrowed it down. Because moving forward, we're going to start getting into typing our story. All right, writers, off you go.